The year is 2025. Our planet groans under the weight of overpopulation. Temperatures soar, resources dwindle, and cities teem with desperation. Food shortages have become commonplace. Crime is rampant. Governments struggle to maintain order. The social fabric, woven over centuries, strains at the seams. Hope, once a beacon for humanity, flickers like a candle in the wind. Amidst this turmoil, a new threat emerges from the depths of space. A silent stalker, hurtling towards our unsuspecting world. An asteroid larger than any in recorded history is detected on a collision course with Earth. The news, like a shock wave, ripples through the corridors of power, sending a chill down the spines of even the most hardened leaders. Fear, primal and raw, grips the hearts of millions. The end, it seems, is not with a whimper but a bang. A cosmic echo of our own making, for in the face of this celestial leviathan, our petty squabbles and terrestrial woes fade into insignificance. We are reminded, in the starkest of terms, of our shared vulnerability, our common humanity. The clock is ticking, and the countdown to oblivion has begun. The asteroid, christened Colossus by the world media, was a behemoth, a mountain of rock and ice several kilometers in diameter, hurtling towards Earth at an alarming speed. Its discovery sent a wave of panic across the globe. The initial disbelief soon gave way to a chilling realization. Our worst nightmare was about to come true. Governments around the world, usually at odds with each other, set aside their differences and united against this common enemy. The world held its breath, a collective gasp of fear and anticipation. The very survival of our species, our home, hung precariously in the balance. Could we, with our combined knowledge and resources, avert this cosmic bullet? Or were we destined to become another statistic in the annals of the universe, a failed experiment in evolution wiped out in an instant? The world's best minds came together, pooling their knowledge and resources. Time was of the essence, and the fate of humanity rested on their shoulders. A daring plan was hatched to deflect the asteroid from its catastrophic course. The strategy involved two main approaches: gravity tractors, spacecraft designed to exert a gravitational pull on the asteroid, subtly altering its trajectory over time, and kinetic impactors, projectiles designed to slam into the asteroid, nudging it off its collision course. It was a long shot, a desperate gamble against an unyielding cosmos, but it was the only shot we had. The world watched with bated breath as humanity embarked on its most audacious mission ever. A desperate race against time to save itself from annihilation. Every launch, every maneuver was followed with a mixture of hope and trepidation. As the asteroid drew nearer, it became horrifyingly clear that our initial calculations were wrong. Colossus was larger and moving faster than we had anticipated. The margin for error, always razor-thin, had vanished. The gravity tractors, painstakingly positioned over months, were proving insufficient to alter the asteroid's trajectory significantly. The kinetic impactors, despite delivering powerful blows, had barely scratched the surface of the celestial behemoth. Despair began to creep into the hearts of even the most optimistic. The world watched aghast as the celestial sword of Damocles continued its inexorable descent. Time, once a comforting constant, was now our most relentless enemy. Section 5, Nuclear Twilight. With conventional methods failing, world leaders were faced with an impossible choice: resort to nuclear detonation as a last-ditch effort to shatter the asteroid. It was a desperate gamble, a Faustian bargain with potentially catastrophic consequences. But with the survival of humanity at stake, could we afford not to take it? The decision was met with a mixture of fear and resignation. Nuclear weapons, long seen as a symbol of humanity's destructive potential, were now our only hope for survival. It was a bitter pill to swallow, a stark reminder of our own capacity for self-destruction. Section 6, Reign of Fire. The world watched with a mixture of awe and terror as a volley of nuclear missiles streaked across the sky, their fiery trails etching a message of desperation against the backdrop of the cosmos. The missiles found their mark, detonating with terrifying force against the surface of the asteroid. The impact sent shockwaves rippling through space, momentarily blinding the telescopes trained on the event. But instead of vaporizing the asteroid, The detonations shattered it into a deadly hail of smaller yet still lethal fragments. It was a Pyrrhic victory. We had avoided a single catastrophic impact, but at a terrible cost. The sky, once a symbol of hope and constancy, was now a canvas of impending doom. Section 7. A New Dark Age. The meteorite shower began as a terrifying spectacle, streaks of fire illuminating the night sky, but the beauty was deceptive. Each fiery streak represented a chunk of space debris, many the size of mountains, hurtling towards Earth at unimaginable speeds. Impact after impact rocked the planet. Cities were reduced to rubble, forests incinerated, and tsunamis reshaped coastlines. The air grew thick with smoke and ash, choking the skies and plunging the world into a perpetual twilight. The once familiar constellations were obscured by a thick veil of debris, a constant reminder of the cosmic dice roll that had upended our world. Section 8. Legacy of the Skystone. In the aftermath, the survivors emerged from their shelters, blinking at the alien landscape that greeted them. The world they knew, the world they had built, was gone. The air was heavy with the stench of death and decay. The lucky ones found refuge in makeshift shelters, clinging to life amidst the ruins. The unlucky ones, their stories were lost to the winds, their voices silenced forever. The impact of Colossus marked the beginning of a new dark age. Technology failed, communication networks collapsed, and the delicate web of global civilization unraveled. Humanity was thrown back to a time before recorded history, forced to rebuild from the ashes of its shattered world. Section 9. Forward into the Ashes. The story of Colossus is a cautionary tale, a reminder of the fragility of our existence and the awesome power of the cosmos. It is a story of hubris and miscalculation, of courage and resilience, but above all, it is a story about the enduring spirit of humanity. For even in the face of unimaginable devastation, hope flickered. From the ashes of the old world, a new one began to emerge. A world forged in the crucible of disaster, tempered by loss and united by a common purpose: survival. The fall of Colossus, though a tragedy of unimaginable proportions, became a catalyst for change. It forced humanity to confront its own mortality, to re-evaluate its place in the cosmos, and to rediscover the indomitable spirit that had allowed our species to thrive for millennia. The road ahead was long and arduous, but as the sun rose on a shattered world, casting long shadows over the ruins, it illuminated a glimmer of hope amidst the despair. Humanity had survived, and in the face of extinction, that was all that mattered.